Good here.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, well, evening for all of you, and afternoon for at least one of you, I think.
Yeah, for me. 4 p.m.
I'd say, though, that's what you get living in a country that has so many time zones in it, but I also live in a country that has that many time zones in it, so...
Yeah.
So last week we left off, you guys are all men about town, and you were going to decide on some stuff you had done or were doing or wanted to do during the week. I've also added some stuff for yous, which I need to work out how I'm going to give that to yous, but I suppose I'll just have to treasure it, won't I?
Treasure's always nice.
It was 11 arrows in the end, wasn't it? And what was the other thing that I did? Can anybody remember the other treasure that I was making? Was the the emblem.
Yes.
Alright, so our stalwart knight was given an emblem of the crown by the Scene Monder, and I'm going to add that into your treasure, and I'm going to grant... I was going to show everybody what the treasure was, but apparently that's not going to happen just there. One in crown distributed. Ulrich, there is your emblem of the crown, which I think I've actually worked out now. And Finley, your arrows.
Ooh, yes.
These are a bit more powerful than you probably should get at this point, so I've made them breakable because you're not getting that many of those. Sorry. Just the way I worked out the thing, and nobody really got back whether we wanted to actually use Helena's Guide to Monster Hunting for that, and I had a little bit of an issue with getting that running this week. And it has a lot of cool stuff on crafting, definitely. It also has stuff on, like, who has actually read Helena's? I know Tobith has.
Not me.
Yeah, so it's basically all about how to craft and what to craft and all sorts of checks and stuff for crafting, but it also has a massive amount of items, and they're like scalable. Some of them start at common, some uncommon, some rare, and they can scale up to various levels depending on what you collect and make out of them. Tobith offered to let me use it, but I pointed out that I actually converted it for shards, so I already have it.
Shocking.
I think it was something like 60 different things that I converted last year for shard, so, you know, I've done a few of them. So, for now we'll go with those. I hope that emblem works alright. I thought that was probably the best easy item. It's not like too powerful for this level, but it'll give you some fun RP opportunities, I suppose.
Yeah, it's great. Appreciate it.
The note at the bottom there is in case somebody's sticky fingers take it and try to use it.
Okay.
What are you saying?
I didn't say anybody in particular. I just said say somebody's sticky. If you inferred something from that, well, I can't help that.
Tobith. No.
I wouldn't do anything. Of course not.
The side eye was implied. It was never stated.
I would never state that exactly. All right. So today, with more man about towning, I'm fine with your thing there, Finley. Like
Okay.
that's perfectly fine. It's as you say, it's more of an RP opportunity than something mechanical. So
Yeah.
you play that out however
for sure.
you like, as long as you're not like, I make this +1 weapon out. No, you don't.
No.
No,
No.
you don't do that.
Sure. Of course.
What else did we want to do today? Now, you had an invitation from a certain chef to go and watch a competition. Other than that, you're pretty much free to just wander around the city still if you'd like, or we can actually begin to get into the nitty-gritty if you'd prefer. You're of a level now where I could happily start the nitty-gritty.
I'm going to start the nitty gritty. That's good with me.
Yeah.
Everyone else? Yep. All right. That being the case, we will start true Crown of the Oathbreaker with Chapter 1, Blood on the Crown. Dun dun dun. All right. So you have spent another night at the Cheeky Mermaid, and you have woken in the morning to find a small lad, a porter of sorts, has been sent to deliver a message to you. The owner of apparently the chicken crowing outside my door. The owner of the Lucky Leap, Ricio Tane, has sent a message that he would like to see you at your earliest convenience.
Well, I guess that'd be right
Was
away
it-
for me.
Like I say, was it one of us in particular that received the message, or was it just to all of us?
It's to the group in general. It's to
Okay.
my dear friends.
Looks
Which
like
you're not sure how you got to dear friends, but fair enough.
A formality? I don't know.
Well,
Sounds like maybe another job. Jobs mean coin.
possibly.
Perhaps.
Jobs mean coin.
Wine is good.
Coin certainly gives us more mobility about town.
I don't quite know what happened to us and why we're here, but let's make the most of it, shall we?
Yeah. No, I mean, the more mobility we have about town, the better ability we have to discover why we are here.
The small boy is still standing in front of you, by the way. Like, he's giving you the note, and he's kind of expectantly standing there, like, twiddling his fingers on his stomach, like, just looking around.
I will go ahead and toss him a coin.
He
catches it near.
Well, he was going to catch it, but then Tobith caught it, so now he's like... He's like done the tongue
I think he
tongue
dropped
to the,
this.
tongue to the side of the cheek thing that people do when they're pissed off but not saying anything.
Tobith, could you?
I think he dropped that, Finley.
It was for the boy. If you don't
I know
mind.
I'm little, but don't call me boy.
Not you, Tobith. It was for... And friendly gestures to the boy who brought the missive.
Oh, did you drop this? I'm sorry. Here you go, little guy.
He does the very traditional. He bites the coin to make sure it's real, and then scampers out of the room without another word, rolling his eyes very slightly at all of you. On the note, it does say at the bottom that the Lucky Leap doesn't open until just after lunch, so you have a couple of hours to kill before that.
Well,
A couple hours. Well, let's go get breakfast.
That sounds good.
breakfast seems a good start.
I always
The
worry when the
owner
GM
of-
says time to kill because, like, this is D&D. We kill.
Well, I mean, you can just walk around this town and start killing people if you want.
No, no,
Very,
no, no. That's all
very
right.
short
That's okay.
campaign, but you know.
Yes, of course.
And then they all died. So you go down into the, well, you're in the common room. You go to the innkeeper here at the Cheeky Mermaid and ask what's for breakfast, and she says something about spam, eggs and spam, or something like that. Which some of you older ones might get, but
Yes.
The usual is with breakfast.
Yeah, that doesn't have much spam in it though. You eat a hearty breakfast of spam, eggs, and spam, and it is now time to head off to the Lucky Leap.
Alright, and about
On
time
the-
we go.
On the trek over, I just want to ask Baron if he is, in the week we've been here, because we've been here now for a week, if he's had any more voices, has he heard from his god more? Have you heard anything? You know, when we came here, you had suddenly grown powers, and you said you could hear the voice of your god. Any new messages?
Well, I've been using the powers more, but I've not heard him since then.
Okay. What does your god sound like when you did hear him? Was it like a big booming voice in your head, or was it more of a feeling?
Sounded like an Australian man.
Oh,
Hey,
when do you
Sorry.
have to play where Australia is?
What's Australia?
All right.
what
If
we
you
call
hear
the
any more
Lean Down
voices, you
Under.
let us know, right?
What's wrong with that?
But, it was just a voice. Hard to really put a descriptor to it.
Well, if you hear any more voices, and you let us know, okay?
Will do.
Great.
All right. So after that strange conversation in which you decided to talk about Australians, which you've never heard of, you make your way inside the Lucky Leap, and you spy Ricio at the bar, who also sees the five of you. He gives you a little touch to the side of the nose, and he indicates that you should probably go and just take a table at the spare table at the front, and he'll be with you shortly. Oh,
Very well.
for some reason, you weren't here.
Will do.
That's right, you were hidden. There is actually another chair for you there, Finley. You're not actually standing up. Just to be clear.
Okay.
Somebody brings over a chair. Oh, sorry. Actually, Baron was the one standing up. Yeah, Baron. Sorry, you're not standing. They've bought you a chair.
What's with these lines on the floor?
Ah. Did you say that out loud?
Yeah. What's with these lines on the floor?
All right. So the guy just above you, the commoner, says, "You don't know about the game."
No. What's the game?
I don't really know the rules, but it's something about you got to try and jump, and if you get the further you get, the more beer you win, or something.
Oh, I get it. Lucky Leap.
Yeah, that's it. Lucky Leap.
Ah, that's funny. So, I could use a drink.
Oh, they only do it during the Kingdom
How far do you have?
games.
Okay. Can't wait.
I think it's still about
I'm going to offer
a week or two
Obus
away.
to throw him.
No, they don't let you throw them. That'd be cheating.
I'm a real good jumper.
He looks at your short stature and goes, yeah, I bet.
Bet you I can outjump you.
Oh, you little jumped up. Roll for initiative. No, I'm joking. Don't do that.
Oh, good.
Oh.
You get into a bar brawl the first second you walk in the door. He just ignores you, turns back to his drink. He's like some people. I don't know.
5 gold. I outjump you.
He slams his drink down on the table. Like, all right then, you're on. Come on.
Oh boy.
I'm feeling lucky today.
All right. So he's a commoner. So real sure how far he can jump.
Do we run or do we just jump?
We run and jump, and I'll get a
Okay.
athletics.
Yeah. I'd actually just pulled up the. There's a great jumping calculator here, but
Oh, if you
yeah.
got something to use, what have you got? What do you got? What do you got?
Yeah. It is the jumping calculator from Fex Labs.
Mm.
Yeah, and today sponsored by Fex Labs. No.
There you go. I just put it in our chat.
Oh no.
I get all these things now from Streamlabs and stuff about sponsorships for streams, and it's like stream this or that or the other. I said, yeah, I don't really want to. I'm good, thanks.
All right. Do you want to go first? Go for it. I'd like to be able to see your mark so I can jump past it. And I wink at Magnus, give him a very knowing wink.
All right, I'm gonna still get you to do an athletics for me.
No problem.
And he's already rolled his, so
All right, so I roll my athletics. And I also, wearing my ring of jumping, I can jump up to 39 feet horizontally.
all right, so 5, 10, 15, 22. So you basically jump into the booths.
Oh my god.
And that's the way it's done.
Though comically, this guy he rolled a 3. So he does this run. He gets to about here. He stumbles, trips, and falls straight into this chair.
I will jump over him and land about there.
So I shouldn't start drinking at 8 in the morning.
I think you owe me some money, sir.
And he gives you 5 goldaroonies.
Woohoo! First round's on me, everyone.
He turns to you
I
and
guess
says, "I think it's
technically
actually
on
on
the other
me."
guy. Apparently, we've got a grasshopper as part of our team.
Apparently. There you go. There's your gold. But
Thank you.
don't spend it all at once, you little so-and-so. Alright, so as you walk in, this guy was actually meant to be hidden, but we'll say he was.
Mm.
You see Lord Sinmonda walk into the room. He looks around, he gives you a curt nod, and he continues on his way across the room. Till he enters the booth directly up top, sitting across from a halfling.
Mm.
This guy has no top knot, so not a kender. As he sits down, they have a little whispered conversation between them. And for about 5 minutes, they're just whispering back and forth. And anytime you look over at Ricio behind the bar, he gives you the conspiracial nose tap again and kind of points at those two.
I'm going to sneak over and see if I hear anything.
Alright, give me a stealth.
Nice.
I'm not even going to bother. You somehow become one with the wood.
All right.
Little silent scampering. Silent scampering.
So as you're sitting there, Lord Sinmonda says to the halfling, I know it's rare, but is it this rare? And the other guy replies with, I can go as low as 535. Not a copper less. I have 7 children to feed and significant debts to settle.
I try and see what it is that he is talking about.
So you will see something that's not there. Where is it? You see a colourful feather. And that is all feather. That is all you can ascertain for the moment.
Must be a contract they're writing up. It's likely a quill.
No, it seems to be the feather is what they're talking about. It's not a quill feather, it's a big bird feather. It's all colourful with all sorts of, like, almost rainbow coloured.
I've never seen a feather worth 500 or more gold before. That's crazy. Okay. I'll keep watching and see what else happens.
Oops, that's why I did that. That was a mistake on my behalf. It's amazing the things you learn after you do the first one.
We've been ambushed by clones.
Yeah, it's Attack of the Clones. Thankfully no clones of you guys.
I'm very happy to hear there's only one Tobith.
Alright, so as they're talking back and forth, haggling over what appears to be a feather.
That's a relief.
This guy walks in, and what you see is a bugbear. Quite a big fellow with chain wrapped around him, big earring piercings. His ears are all ratty because obviously he's been in a few fights. Looks like a unfriendly fellow, and the expression on his face is quite angry. He stalks across the bar.
Stand up.
You stand up.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I stand up and get like
Yeah.
immediate defensive position because this guy doesn't look like anybody else, or doesn't look like everybody
I'm
else.
gonna
Alright.
casually walk behind him,
Yeah,
Alrighty.
just keeping an eye on him, kind of clocking him.
I'm gonna like stay next to Magnus.
As he's walking,
Finley's going to seeing his companion stand up, slowly rise and just watch.
as you stand up, the deal between the two comes to a close, and they agree on a price of 535 gold pieces. What appears to be a colourful feather. And just as they do that, this guy reaches the table.
Not gonna start an altercation, but I'm definitely
Yep.
kind of slowly making my way towards Tobith. I'm assuming we saw Tobith go.
As he
So
does,
I'll
he
casually walk by like I'm going towards Tobith.
he looks at the small guy, the halfling, and says, "All right, Raffolk, where's me bloody gold?" And Raffolk starts back in his chair. It's like, "Oh, golfer, oh, I've just made a deal with this dwarf here, and I'm gonna have your gold by tomorrow. Or next day at the latest." And before your eyes, Golfer picks up the lantern from the table and dumps it on the feather, setting the feather on fire. So, I don't give a shit about your deals. I'll pluck all of your feathers if you don't bring me the gold by noon tomorrow. And in front of an entirely shocked inn, you watch as this feather of whatever variety bursts into green flame.
Tobith will feel bad that this is happening. He's like, "Whoa, fire! Go out!" And prestidigitation to try and put out the fire.
Alright, you put out the fire, but the feather is beyond. It's now blackened. Most of the actual feather bits are gone from it. It's just destroyed. And Rafok is looking decidedly frightened and like his head's in his hands as Golfer, without saying a word, turns around, looks at the two of you, Ulrich and Magnus, sneers and just pushes past you and walks back out. And just as he gets to the door, he turns back and says, "Remember, noon tomorrow, or you're dead." And then walks out.
And as Magnus is right there, I'm gonna talk to the halfling.
You can see this,
What was that all about?
you can see there's tears going down his face. He's like, "Oh, I don't know why he did that. I would have got gold." And Lord Sinmonda is sitting there all shocked as well. He's like, "Oh, I can't even remember his accent, but he had one. I think it was kind of Irish."
Kind of Irish.
Kind of
Yeah.
Irish, kind of Irish like this a little bit. He's like, "Oh, this is just terrible, terrible." I was like, "I did just make a deal for this feather though, and now I don't have one."
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the same guy that met
What kind of feather was it that would
the other
burn
day,
green?
right?
Sorry, both of you talked at once there, and I missed both of that.
Yep. Sorry, Ulrich. Go ahead.
I'm asking a player question. Like, this isn't the same guy that Arik met the other day at the temple.
It is.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay. So Arik
Ulrich's a
will.
little quiet.
He is a little bit quiet.
So Arik.
You might want to turn yourself up
Yeah.
just a tiny little bit. I turned you down on my end,
Yep.
so
All right. How about now?
probably a little
That's
loud
much
now.
better.
Okay.
He's like,
I tell
sorry.
I tell the guy, like, no. I tell the guy. Arik tells the guy, like, "So you're all right. You need assistance."
Like, no, I'm all right. I'm all right. I was just trying to buy this coatl feather.
A wackle feather.
Was it a rare item?
Do any of you want to check if you know what one of those is?
I
No.
would love to check if I know what that is. If I can be attentively trying to listen in on this conversation. Should I roll?
Give me I'd say actually Arcana for that.
Arcana? Okay. Oh, 17.
17 will do it. So you've never seen one, but you've heard of these, like, they're like celestial bird things. You're not really sure beyond that what they are, but you've heard of these, yeah, like they're from the heavens and
Yeah.
they've got feathers and their feathers are magical and they could have healing properties and all sorts of things. So it appears that
Okay,
is
as-
what he was trying to buy.
As this conversation is happening, I would like to approach Ulrich and Magnus here, just kind of walking up behind them, and I'll say, I don't know too much about them, but Quaddle, I know their feathers. They're celestial creatures of some sort, and their feathers are known to have potentially healing properties of some sort.
Sinmonda overhears you and is, "Aye, that you have the right of it." Now he's gone Scottish. I don't know why. He just really can't pick an accent.
And a look at the halfling.
All right.
You don't seem like you're from the heavens. Where did you get a coatl feather?
I got it from my ma'am.
Or your mother?
Yeah. It's just like, you know, he wipes the tears and the snot and dribbling that's happening off and looks and he goes, "You look like decent folks. I know my request might sound a bit crazy, but I don't have any other choice. Can you help a halfling in trouble, please? This is like dire. There's no way out. I can make it worth your while. I promise."
Or Magnus, what say you? What
I think he can't pay off
services-
one debt.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
I have a
halfling
way.
can't pay off one debt. What's he gonna pay us?
He's like, "Look, I don't want to say it here, because he is, but my mum's got another one of them feathers. If I can convince her to give it to me, then, whoop, there's two of me. Just one of him though. Then I'll be able to go through with the deal, and give that guy his gold by tomorrow."
Where's your mother?
At home.
I assume
could-
that. Where's home?
Well, just a few streets away. It's not too far. I can take you there.
All right.
I'm gonna ask the dwarf if he's
Different guy.
wanting us to help him obtain the feather.
Look, she might take a little bit of convincing to do it, because well, you know, I took the first one and then it's gotten burnt, so she may not want to give up the second one. So, no, I don't want you to do anything, don't get me wrong. I just like, if you can come along and let her know that that's what happened, that I'm telling her the truth, that this big guy came and burnt the feather and everything, she'd be a little bit more willing to help out.
All right. I mean, we can certainly back you up on the events that happened here.
I have one more question. What is it you owe the big guy money for?
Gambling. He works at a gambling hall, and I owe them money.
Well, I should hope you've learned your lesson on that front. Gambling is a difficult.
I know, I've got a problem. I'm going to a group.
Oh. Nope. Can't help yourself if you're dead.
Well, it stopped me gambling.
That's a fair point, Finley.
So perhaps we can do something about that.
All right. So he leads you out. Sinmonda bids you adieu and heads back to the thing, saying as he leaves, "I'll meet you tomorrow, midday. Hopefully you've got that feather, and we can sort this out." And gives you all a nod and walks out. And then you follow the halfling who introduces himself as Refok Ginsey, and leads you to his house, or well, rather his mother's house. He knocks on the door.
Before we had left, actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
yeah, no,
Never
you go,
mind.
you go, no, you go. Before you left.
I wanted to ask Ricio if he knew anything about this little halfling. Do you know this guy?
As you go to approach the bar, Ricio gives you a double eyebrow raise, like a. And I'll get you to roll an insight to see if you can interpret the double eyebrow raise.
Mm.
You think he has nice eyebrows?
Not likely.
I smile at him. Nice.
As you walk closer and finally up to the bar, he goes, "Follow the halfling," out of the corner of his mouth, without opening his mouth completely, and then does the double eyebrow raise again.
Okay. I'm sorry about your jaw.
He rolls his
God.
eyes so hard, you're not 100% sure that they're ever going to come back to the front.
Oh God.
He just
Poor guy must have been in a bar fight.
just sighs, shakes his head, just like, ugh. And with that, you follow Reffolk to his mother's house and
Yep.
knock on the door. And her name is Granny Perla. And she answers the door, takes one look at Reffolk, and slams the door shut again.
Oh dear.
Reffolk starts hammering on the door.
Here,
Come on, let me in. Need to talk. She opens
apparently
the
she knows the real you.
door. She opens the door and she goes, "What's it this time?" And he explains what happened, looking to you guys for confirmation of everything that transpired.
Alric will nod his head. Unfortunately, yes, but
That is, in
trying to
fact, what
correct the
did happen.
situation.
Under my breath, I'm going to ask Ulrich if he thinks this is going to be more hassle than it's worth, and that that bugbear is going to come after us, isn't he? And then I'll just kind of, not a question, actually looking for an answer, more of a comment.
Alric will probably just give him a side nod, like, yeah.
Well, Granny, when he finishes his conversation, Granny Perla slams the door shut again, as saying to him, "You are just as irresponsible as your father was. Now get lost and solve your problems on your own." And he starts bashing on the door again. Granny, you're the only one who can help me. Please, don't be so mean. And a second later, she reopens the door, and she says, "Yeah, I've got one more feather left, but I don't trust you. And I don't know these people. So, how about you... Look, the only way I'm giving you that feather is if you give me half the money first. Like, you were going to give me
I'm going to
half the money
suggest,
originally. You give me half the money now, 250 gold, or you can go away."
looking at Raffolk, I assume you don't have that much on you, do you?
I got 50, but she's going to want 250. I don't have 250 gold.
I don't know that we have 200. That we can just run to. That would be irresponsible anyway.
I'm going to look at Granny and suggest that with the 5 of us working as his bodyguard, we know the feather won't get destroyed again, and we'll make sure, kind of flexing a little bit, that all the money comes to him and to her.
She crosses her arms because I'm not interested. I want my gold and I wants it now.
Well, I, frankly, and I'll look to my companions, I can't blame her.
Maybe Simon would be willing to pay half up front.
Or is Simonda standing here?
Tobit looks around. I know he's short, but I don't think he's that short. No.
Well, then he can't pay half up front, can he?
That's a very
What
good
if
point.
you had someone co-sign? As someone reputable. I can't give you 250, but I could put 50 of my own down. I've got an honest job. I've been working over at Knight's Pride. I could vouch.
Well, your 50, his 50, that makes 100. Now it's just 150
I'm
more.
I'm gonna tap Ulrich and tell him to keep an eye out for a second, and I'm going to get in Granny's face and try and intimidate her and say, "You'll take the 100 now, and you'll get the rest when we get the pay." But I'm kind of trying to get Ulrich to look away.
Okay, so let's do a persuasion on Ulrich to look the other way
My God.
Okay.
as you attempt to intimidate an old
Oh God.
woman. He just looks at you, strokes his mustache, and is like, nah.
Look, let's not, madam, please. We're trying to get your son here out of considerable trouble, and I'll gladly do it.
You do realise, young man, that the 2 feathers were worth 500 gold each, and he's got one of them destroyed. I'm being more than fair by asking for only 250 as a down payment. Quarter of the worth of the 2 feathers.
I'm gonna step back a little bit and say to Ulrich, "You should have let me at her."
Intimidating old
I would've
women
made
now,
this-
are we?
I would have made the situation a lot worse, Magnus. But
I would say Magnus is not a patient man.
yes. Well,
Look, your friend
In
there's
good
put up
faith.
50. My
I was going to put down. I was going to say I'm going to put down 50 myself.
Alright, that's getting closer. It's not there though, is it? Looks at Magnus, looks at the rest of you, Finley and Tobith, and is like, expect
Finley's
it.
going to heft a heavy sigh and be like, all right, I can put down 50 as well. That'll bring us to 200.
Okay, so who's putting down the last 50?
Tobit steps back.
Steals 50 from somebody else?
Keep stepping back until Magnus is in front of him.
I'm going to look at Tobith and I'm gonna say, "All right, I'll put in 40, but you're putting in 10. You're at least getting some skin in this game."
But I don't like this game. I don't think we
I
can
don't
win.
like- I'm not much faith in this myself. I've already been a fool and been parted with some money already.
Sorry, I was checking to see what Insight's all about. Yeah, I don't think that this is a very good idea. I think I don't want to give up my money. This isn't something I want to do, even if it's only 10.
Well, I'm going to give you your insight, but it all seems on the level. Like, she seems just really, 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 really annoyed that this drop kick of her son basically just let 500 gold be burned. And she wants to make something back from this.
Tobit looks in his pockets at the 10 gold that he has after having bet 5, slowly pulls out one coin after another, places them into Finley's hands, and gets to 9, and trembling places the last one on, and then turns away.
Finley patiently taking the gold, nods, and then turns to the lady. All right, here's the last 10 of 250 gold, ma'am.
All right. So she takes the gold. She turns back into the house. She comes back out a minute later with this gigantic feather that's all colourful, colours of the rainbow all the way down it, and hands it to. Goes to hand it to Raffolk, shakes her head, it's like, "You're an idiot," and hands it to Ulrich instead. It's like, so make sure that he gets that, then you get your gold back, and he can pay off some of his debts. Though not all of them, can he? Because he burnt the first feather. Idiot. And with that, she shuts the door, and you hear her grumping off into the house. Reffolk turns to you and goes, he gives you a wry smile, and goes, well,
I look at him sternly. Ulrich looks at him sternly and says, "This is staying with me until all this business is done. Understand?"
all right, you don't have to convince me. Like, I know he said tomorrow, but I reckon we could head over to what's his name's house now. Like, get it out of the way, won't you? So that bloody golfer doesn't come back and try and burn another feather.
The faster we get away from this feather, the better.
I agree.
And the faster I get my money back.
If your bugbear friend shows up again, there'll be no talking. Just him at the end of my sword.
I once saw him pitch an orc through a window with one hand.
Let him try.
How heavy was the orc?
But
Orc heavy?
he won't be laying a finger on any of us or that feather.
All right,
Not if my can help it.
all right. Let's get on our way then. So you start to wander through the city, and keeping an eye out, I'm assuming, for Golfer or any other
100%.
threat. I will get you. You've gone about 4 blocks. I'm going to get everyone to give me a perception check.
All right.
You don't even know what the ground is.
God.
You wish you knew what he knows about the ground.
Oh, 19.
There we go. Oh,
All right.
Oh yeah, Baron.
So Finley and Baron, your senses are attuned, and you realise that slowly as you've been walking, Reffolk has been just going further and further backwards behind you as you've been walking. It's not real obvious. It's just like he's just walking just that little bit slower, and you're all going forward, and yeah. And then just as you get to the end of the block, he turns and starts to do a runner.
Oi!
He looks back.
Finley will call out
So you go.
after him. Finley looks out after him and starts to follow, like, give chase.
All right.
How far away is he?
He's probably only about 15 feet away from you at the moment.
I'm gonna yell out to Finley and say, "Do we really need him? We have the feather. Let's go get the gold."
Does he
that's
have?
fair.
He doesn't have the gold.
That might kill him.
Granny has the gold. Oh, so you're not going to chase him. You're going to go and get the gold from Thingy. All right.
Absolutely. And then we made
Yeah.
the 500.
Um,
Ulrich, you still have the feather?
Oh, yes.
I was just gonna say he didn't manage to stealth steal it or anything, did he?
no.
All right. Finley
Does he have anything
stops.
metal on him?
Comes back.
Any like belt buckle or?
I mean, I couldn't possibly say. that. Like, maybe? That's kind of like, can you see anything metal on him? I don't think so, but... give me,
Well,
give
I
me,
don't
give
know
me,
if
give
like
me,
those
give
like
me,
buttons count.
give me a history check from like all the times that you've seen him since you met him.
All right. Actually, he has earrings, I think, in the art.
They're plastic.
But history, plastic
I mean,
earrings.
plastic. Oh, hey. Oh, no.
You're not sure. Like you do remember earrings, but you don't know if the metal they were made of is conductive of heat, which I'm assuming is what you were gonna do.
Well, yes. I was thinking, I don't know what his stats are, but I was like, oh, either it'll knock him or hurt him, and we can just catch up to him.
All right,
But
actually,
if
you
it
know what?
knocks him, I can just heal him.
You do remember that there was earrings, so I'll give you that.
Good attempt.
Oh, but I'm so worried that if he is like commoner stat, it might just full kill him. Just double
Oh,
hit
yeah,
max.
no.
Well, unfortunately,
I'm not.
in the real world where you'd actually be, you wouldn't know the difference between a commoner and a thingy, so you just have to roll those dice and hope for the best.
True. We ball. I'm gonna cast heat metal on him.
All right.
And yell out for him to stop.
Nice.
So he will immediately take 2d8 fire if the earrings are in fact metal.
Well, funnily enough, you cast heat metal, but nothing seems to happen to him as you watch. And just before he hits the corner and goes around it, something really strange starts to happen. He starts to grow taller, but his features start to kind of dissolve and his clothing starts to alter.
Phobos would like to dash.
Alright. He is now like 50 feet ahead of you, and he's just hit the corner.
Mhm.
But you can dash after him. Let us give a. I'm gonna find an area of map to use for this dash.
If Tobith is starting to dash, I'll cast Zip and chase after Tobith.
I'll
Alright, just
be following
let me
after too.
Here.
Oh. That ability to move maps sometimes. There we go. We will go with there. That's 50 feet away from the nearest. I'll put you all in a line, so you're all 50 feet away from him at the moment, because you would have been kind of huddled talking together. So we're going to do this in initiative order, and I'm going to hide all the rest of everybody so that I don't have to worry about them.
Me. Scroll up.
It's a lot of high rolls.
Mine was a nat
Couldn't
20.
get a persuasion check, but I got an
There it
initiative.
is.
16.
The dice tell the story.
I'll work nat 20.
The dice want us to jump this man.
They do. They really do. It's kind of crazy.
Alright, so Raffolk. I'm gonna move him just a little bit ahead of you. That's his kind of surprise round, because you guys were kind of discussing what you were gonna do. Magnus,
Right.
you'll go.
If I chase this guy down, I will cast Zip. which says it moves me 3 times my speed in a straight line, which would be 90 feet. It ends early if I reach an occupied space. So if there's somebody in my way, I don't know who's all in the street, but if there's not, then I would move 90 feet as my action.
Let's give me an athletics. So what I'm looking for here is that you have to pick the path that doesn't intersect with any other passerby, because you're in the middle of the street in the middle of the day, so there's plenty of people around. So give me an athletics check.
Fair enough. 16.
All right.
So it'd end me wherever you want me to end.
Just
I
trying to
started
think.
here.
So you make it 70 feet.
Okay. 70 feet it is.
And then somebody walks around the corner and into you.
And seeing as I bumped into somebody, I will try to catch them and apologize, but that would be my action.
All right. As you watch, his features start to change into somebody else.
What in the world?
You guys out back there can't see that. Only Magnus can see that right now, being that close. Ulrich, you've just watched Magnus go.
My God.
Zoom.
And you're like, whew, this arm is heavy. That's as far as I'm going.
Yeah, I'm still. No, I'm gonna double move. There we go.
Alrighty, so
That's it for me.
that's it for you. Commoner, no. Baron.
All right. Baron's gonna move up 25 feet. And we're just gonna go ahead and you said I saw the like beginning of the shift, but I'm too far back to like see the full shift, right?
Yeah.
With what I have seen so far, though, could I make the educated guess that this guy ain't who he says he is?
I mean, that would be obvious. I think that he isn't who he says he is. What he is,
Yeah.
maybe, would give you... I would need a history check.
Okay. I don't actually have a guess on what he is, but Baron does, apparently.
Baron knows, because he has seen one before, that you are in the presence of a doppelganger.
Oh shit.
Okay. In that case, lethal force. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
It's first level. 17 to hit.
Will definitely hit.
Alrighty. Baron's gonna he's going to raise his shield high, and shining out of it is a golden beam of light that kind of hits this guy in the back and flashes around him, dealing kind of rough, but damage is damage, 11 radiant. And whoever hits him next has advantage.
Alright, he takes a shot in the back, and you see now that he's wearing some sort of really long robe, and that the earrings that you saw must have been part of his disguise, because he has no earrings. In fact, he has no ears.
See.
But
that will end my turn.
Finley.
All right. Well, what can I see at this point? What am I? I'm running after my friends, clearly. I'm trying to get line of sight on what's going on.
Well, thankfully for you, this commotion and then Baron shooting a guiding bolt has basically made every commoner and merchant around you start to dive for the sides of the road. Many of them screaming. A couple of them screaming, "Guards, guards!" In fact, and you can see, you get a pretty clear line of sight towards this creature now.
All right. If I have clear line of sight, I'm going to take a shot at what I see my
roll it.
companions using lethal force on.
You can roll a history too if you want, to see if you know what
Yeah,
it is.
good.
Because clearly Baron hasn't had a chance to go, "Oh, everyone, by the way, this is a doppelganger," and just to let you know what they're like.
For sure. Okay, where's my history? Oh my god, there it is. 11.
You have no idea. He's a changey guy.
Yeah. I'm assuming my companions aren't just using lethal force for nothing, though. So, I'm going to knock an arrow, and just a regular arrow, and fire off.
Go for it. That will not do it.
No, well,